5:05. Thank you, Alan. Nicely timed.
Mayo, Simon Mayo.
All right, thank you, Steve.
Drive time's on and we're on our
You see
way.
who's behind?
Yes.
Yes.
What have you noticed?
Well, Sheryl Crow.
Oh, and Peter and Robert there.
Of course, yes.
Sheryl Crow, you're very welcome to the programme. Cheryl!
Hey, I've decided if this music thing doesn't work out, I'm going to start a queuing business in America.
How about that?
Love that. That's ingenuity right there.
Isn't that a great story?
Yeah.
Cheryl has a new album out. It's called Feels Like Home, and it's a fantastic new album. So, is it because Nashville? Is it Nashville that feels like home? Is it the music that feels like home? Why are you calling it that?
It's everything. I actually made this record in the barn at the bottom of my driveway. We live on a farm, and I made it above where the horses are. And we made it over the course of maybe a month, and so I literally made it at home. But it's the first time I've, in 20 years, put down roots anywhere, and that's in Nashville. So it was a great experience.
So when you say, you just made it in the garden, in a shed above the horse, this is going to be a fully fledged recording studio.
I had people make it for me. No, I'm kidding.
I imagine you have a pretty fantastic studio, though.
It's great, but it's funny. I used to have this giant board that actually I bought from the BBC. It was an old Neve broadcast board, and I made all my records on it. And then, of course, in the last few years, everything's gone the way of home systems that you basically make in your computer, and you have a small board. And so I sold that honkin' board to this band called Wilco, and I miss it because of the beauty of it. I'm kind of a little bit of a tech geek, but we make it on, you record on
so
computer.
Where did you get that bit of BBC kit from then?
There's a guy in Los Angeles, Alan Sides, who buys Neve consoles, and they refurbish them, and that's, great board.
And now you just do it on your phone?
Now I basically do it on my 4-track, my 4-track app on my iPhone.
So who are these guys with you? Introduce us to?
Peter Stroud, guitar player. If you are a fan, you've definitely heard him with me before. He's been with me for 15 years.
15 years.
15 years. From Atlanta. He's happy he's not there right now.
Give us a strum there. What's the guitar you got?
Oh my God,
there?
I hope you play better than that while And this is Robert Kearns, formerly with Leonard Skinner, but we stole him.
Yes.
He's ours now. So
I'm yours.
Yes.
Give us a little bit of a slap there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Give us some Blondie. Oh, yeah.
That sounds great.
I wrote that, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of yours, isn't it?
It's on my new record. Make sure to go out and get my new record so you can hear that.
and which guitar do you have with you? Is it the 1964 Gibson Country Western?
Actually, unfortunately, it is not. It is a Southern Jumbo reissue. Am I right about that? Yeah.
That's right.
Actually, Gibson made a Southern Jumbo for us to take out on the road. And then later on, they made a replica of my 64 Country Western, which I do not have with me today.
That's the one you used for writing all your tunes.
That's the little moneymaker, Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why haven't you got that?
That's what's buying the Legos in my world.
Is that just sitting at home?
It is. It's waiting to write another song for me. Actually, truth be told, I've bought a lot of great guitars, and that guitar happens to be the one that almost any song I ever made any money off of was written on.
Including the one you're going to sing next? I don't know what you're going to sing.
That's a bad omen, isn't it? Actually, I did write it on that song. On that guitar. Yeah.
Are you going to do something new first? Are you going to do something old first?
We're going to do something really old, which hopefully people will know. And it is
Strong
a country song from 20 years ago called "Strong Enough." Gotta feel like hell tonight. Tears of rage I cannot fight. I'd be the last to help you understand. Are you strong enough to be my man? My man. Nothing's true and nothing's right, so let me be alone tonight. 'Cause you can't change the way I am. Are you strong enough to be my man? Lie to me, I promise, I believe. Lie to me, but please understand? Would you be man enough to be my man? Lie to me, I promise I believe. Lie to me, but please don't leave.
Sheryl Crow singing live. That was fantastic. And, you know, there'll be many who would say that's one of your best songs ever. wouldn't
Oh,
you say?
thank you.
Where does that sit as far as you're concerned?
Gosh, it's one of my favorite songs definitely to play. And it's great now because, the formats in America, everything's divided up like pop, country, rock and roll, whatever it is. But that song is sort of fit into a lot of different genres of music. So
Yeah.
it's been sort of a great song to have in my pocket.
Presumably,
for
when you
sure.
introduced it, you said it's a country song from 20 years ago, but a lot is being made. This is a country record.
Yeah, and that was on pop radio. Yeah.
But actually, this album is sort of, you've been singing this kind of
Yeah.
thing forever. haven't
I
you?
know. And that's the thing. I was talking about it with my good friend Julian in there, and we were saying, the format thing, I think you don't really have that as much over here, which is so lovely. You have national radio, but in America, everything's divided up with these categories, and you get marketed to one group of people who are country fans or pop or whatever, and songs are just songs.
Have
you know?
have you written in a different way though? Because you've collaborated with Brad Paisley and people like that.
Yeah.
The whole construct in Nashville is different, isn't it?
Yeah, I did, and part of that was kind of out of selfishness. I moved there right after I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I guess maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I got ready to make this record, and I didn't have a record deal, and I thought, I'm just going to write songs, and I'm going to learn some tricks by some great songwriters in town, and it was so great. I really loved it, and I felt like after 25 years of making music, to be enthusiastic again about writing, and I feel like some of my best stuff is on this record who can say that after 25 years,
And is that partly because of all? I mean, you mentioned breast cancer, and you were diagnosed also with as I understand, a malign brain tumor.
Yeah, with a benign brain,
Benign brain tumor,
yeah.
and that's got to input itself somewhere into your songwriting, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, it certainly gives perspective to things. I don't sweat the small stuff like I used to, and
What? What don't
it's,
you do now?
I'll tell you, it was funny when I got diagnosed years ago. Everything happened at the same time. Like I was engaged, that fell apart. I got diagnosed 6 days later, and suddenly I just got this opportunity to sort of reboot and rebuild. And everything since then has been different. It's just been so much more positive. I feel like I'm so much more intact with joy, which may sound really hokey, but it's true. I'm just in a better mood all the time, I'm not the pill I used to be.
Your band are nodding knowingly. I think we should ask Pete.
They have to agree with me because they're on my payroll.
We should ask Peter. Is she more joyful? Oh, you're employed. Yeah.
Peter, watch it.
She is.
Careful.
By golly, she is.
She's always been lovely to me because I'm the new guy.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
the
yeah,
new guy.
You've only seen the new joyful
That's right.
Sheryl
You didn't know
Crow.
the old one. Yes.
Because she's been
He missed the birthday parties at the Underground. And what was the other club? The Borderline
Yeah,
here in
borderline.
town.
Yeah.
Just down the road.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that evening
was the old Sheryl.
culminated with my losing my cookies in my manager's boots that night. So
Is that a euphemism for something?
Yes, that means I hurled.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Too much drinking. I'm a kindlier, gentler version of myself now. So,
But there's
you see.
there's lots of beer drinking on this record.
Simon, it is a country record,
Yes.
Some things don't change.
But it's
You have to have one drinking song, And drinking for me means a glass of wine, and then I'm like kaput.
Do you want to know what listeners are saying?
Yes, please. Or do I? Do I?
Yes,
Simon?
you do. Yeah. Connor says, could you ask Sheryl what she means when she says Jack Johnson is the new Don Ho from her new song Easy?
We should call Jack Johnson and see what he thinks. Well, Don Ho, of course, when I was growing up, you didn't have all the cable channels, and the only Hawaiian that ever really crossed over with his music was Don Ho. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
So he was like a household name, and
We don't. I don't think we know him.
No, you probably wouldn't. He was strictly Hawaiian. Which
And what's
made it
that
over
thing
to the
about
mainland.
Mexico? What are you saying about Mexico?
Well, there's a tradition in the country world of male singers singing about going to their boats in the Caribbean, St. John, St. Martin, or going to Key West and drinking cervezas and putting their toes in the water. And So when I got ready to make this record, I thought, well, who can afford to do that? You know, the gas prices are crazy, and people started using this word staycation, and I thought, I'm going to write a song about staying home and drinking beer in your backyard, like what we do, and watching your kids on the slip and slide and calling that a vacation.
Yeah. As opposed, is it like the Jimmy Buffett songs you're thinking about?
Yes, that, and there are a number of country singers from Kenny Chesney and
Sheryl
Toby
Crow.
Keith.
This says Sheryl Crow is the most beautiful and talented woman on the planet. Could you ask her to say hi to Tony in Ipswich? It would make a rubbish day suddenly fantastic.
Tony in Ipswich, I love you. Are you single, and are you funny?
To be honest, I'd leave it there. Really?
I don't want to live in Ipswich. Is that what you're saying?
No, Ipswich is very nice. It's just down the A12. You could be there in an hour and 50.
Ah, I see. No, thank you.
But you have other things to do.
I've got to get back. Home.
Here's a techie question. Dave, the bass player in Cumbria's Best Covers Band. I wonder if you might be so bold as to ask the wonderful Sheryl Crow if she still has the lovely Pelham Blue Gibson EB3 bass guitar she bought in the famous but now defunct Andy's Guitar Shop in London's Denmark Street.
Wow.
I travelled down to Andy's from Cumbria to buy this bass, only to find that she'd bought it a few minutes earlier.
Oh, I'm sad. Yes, I have it still, and I remember the day I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were staying at the Covent Garden Hotel. We
Cumbria's
walked over.
It's the Lake District. He would travel a long way. Not in American terms, it would be nothing to you. But
Yeah.
he probably spent all day. He saved up a lot of money, and he went to Denmark, the world famous Denmark Street, to buy this guitar. And you, Sheryl Crow, pulled the whole international superstar thing and nabbed it first.
Oh, I feel terrible.
The real question here is, why am I not playing that bass?
Why am I not playing that bass?
So I've been enjoying the
found
show.
that bass.
And Peter found that bass. You can blame Peter.
Strong Enough is one of my favourite Sheryl Crow songs. Thank you. What a treat at tea time. Love Sheryl Crow's a voice like silk and the smile of an angel. Tim in Ormskirk.
Wow, who are these people?
They're the listeners. They're
Julian, get me a tour over here, quick.
Well, there's the thing.
I know,
There's the
right?
thing. Why aren't, when and why not? Come on.
I agree.
At a proper UK tour, not just like London and Manchester.
I can't answer it. I'm controlled by people behind large curtains, and
I can guarantee you a large audience in Ipswich. Okay, if you go to Ipswich, it's
I would love to come over. We're going to tour in the United States this summer, but I hope we're going to be over here shortly thereafter. I'd love to do Glastonbury. Hello, promoters at Glastonbury. I would love to come over and play. It's my favorite place to play.
How
here.
difficult can it be to get Sheryl Crow a tour? I mean, this is an easy thing.
Right?
We could get you half a dozen gigs before we finish at 7.
Simon?
Yep.
I want you to make that happen.
Okay.
Whatever you have going on this evening, I want you to cancel it and work on this.
Okay, it's going to be done. So I might have to cancel the homework thing that I was planning. Anyway, if you want Sheryl Crow to play, she's clearly up
I'll
for
play
it.
for bar mitzvahs, weddings.
It's time clearly the whole point is that you play something from the new record. Otherwise, your new record label will be very cross.
Twist my arm.
So
I'm going to play an old-fashioned kind of country, 60s country love song.
and what is this called?
It's called Give It To Me, Simon.
So, okay.
Although it's not actually Give It To Me, Simon. It's just Give It To Me.
Is this the one with Vince Gill and Ashley Monroe doing the backing vocals?
Yes, and
So
I will tell you,
how
if
are
you
Pete
have
and
the
Robert
opportunity, please buy Ashley Monroe's record. It will slay you. And Vince. I mean, Vince is amazing, but Ashley Monroe is just stupefying.
So why are you standing for this one?
It requires all of the muscle
That you have.
stamina that I can.
And Peter and
muster.
Robert, is one of them playing Vince Gill and the other one playing Ashley Monroe?
I guess I'm Vince.
That makes you Ashley.
You're going to be
then, Robert.
Ashley.
You're Ashley, Robert.
The bearded Ashley.
Can you do that?
Sounds like a drink at a bar. I'll have a bearded Ashley.
I have to belt this one out as well.
Okay.
Give me a bearded
All right.
Ashley right now.
All right. So this is live on Radio 2 Drive Time. This is brand new from Sheryl Crow.
3, 4.
Tell me you don't care, or tell me you're just scared, but give me something I can hold on to. Say what's on your mind, or am I just wasting time? If you don't want somebody loving you, you got one foot in and one foot out the door. And baby, I
clap for the nation.
The sound of one hand clapping.
Hey, that was just fantastic. And you know what? You were just making people smile. There were big grins on people's faces because it just sounded magnificent.
Nice. I hope my kids are listening. Hi, Wyatt. Hi, Levi.
Are they here? Are they home listening online? Or
They're here. They're listening online. No, they're listening on the radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simon, we can guarantee a large audience in Aberdeen. We saw Sheryl in Brussels 2004. It was fantastic. Her music has been the soundtrack to a lot of our life. Thank you for making this evening a good one. That's Keisha in Stonehaven.
Nice.
Can you do the Eden?
Keisha?
Could you do the Eden Project in Cornwall, please? Says Joe Cook. I'll get Sheryl a gig in the Glenleven Inn in Kilbuchan. 80 quid and a free pint is what you're being offered by Big Malky Campbell.
Where's the contract? Let's do this thing.
Tony in Ipswich says, yes, I am very much single, he says. Come to Latitude, please, Al in Suffolk.
12.
Anyway, basically, everybody just wants you to come.
Oh.
So any time that you get a chance, it would be lovely to see you and
That's
to do a proper
nice.
tour. Sheryl Crow's album is called Feels Like Home, and it's terrific. All the way
Thank you,
through.
Simon. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's been...
We have a long history together, so...
That's very true. But Waterproof Mascara, by the way, you have to listen to that track on the album. It don't run like your daddy did. Is that
No,
how
it
the line
don't.
goes?
It don't run like your daddy did.
Sheryl Crow, thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.